Now, Pete, we have minutes from our last meeting.
Yes, I circulated them, I guess, just this morning. They're dated February 22 and March 1.
Okay. Well, I didn't see anything wrong with them. I'd move to accept those minutes. Any further discussion?
No, thought they were great.
Okay, great.
Second
All
that.
right, so all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Minutes.
Isn't Lisa coming today?
No, she had a last minute health emergency.
Okay, all right.
So we probably have everything from the commission that we're expecting.
Anyway, hello, Terrells. I'm Carl Sprague. Pete Williams is our secretary. You've got Georgia Marsden and Pam Sandler here, and Jay Rind, and I think we've got our quorum. And I see that maybe is Lori representing you?
Yeah.
Hi, Lori. Thank you.
Lori. How are
Welcome,
you?
Carl. Hey, David. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Great.
Ray Warner is supposed to be presenting. He's not on yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. It's only 4:02. I mean, I'm sorry.
I just texted him
we're a little quick off the mark.
because
here.
he's trying to join now.
Okay. Well, we'll give him a minute. And anyway, so so the address we're talking about is what is that again? I'm sorry, Pete, do you have that in front of you?
78 Interlochen.
78 Interlaken. Okay, great. And is that a new house to you? Is it Mr. and Mrs. Terrell? Yeah, okay. Great. Well, it's a nice neighborhood.
Thank you.
And
We were actually down in Great Barrington before.
oh, okay, nice. Okay. Well, welcome to Stockbridge.
So Ray has joined.
Yeah.
Do you have the ability to pull up drawings, or do you want me to share my screen?
Oh, David, why don't you do that? Because I'm not seeing. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, David, share screen. Somebody has to enable him.
Steve, have we got share screen enabled?
Yes, ready to go, but Ray Warner is not connected to audio.
Okay. Oh, it's this house. Okay, great. All right.
Can I point out for the board to begin this conversation that this house is an historic house. And I don't know if any of your board members had already gone on the MACRIS, but the MACRIS identifies this property at 78 Interlaken Road as a house. Of what you view from the road was built in 18 was known as the Dresser House, and it was built circa 1820. The prior owners in the 70s put an addition on in the back, and David Potter and Ray Warner will explain to you what that addition is in the back. That is not an historic structure, only the building in the front. So they will describe to you what changes they're going, what upgrades they're going to do to make it even more fabulous historic structure and consistent with the era. And then they'll describe what taking down the old 1970s edition and constructing a new house.
I'm on
in the
now.
back. There you go. There's Ray.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on the phone. Somehow I couldn't get the audio to work on the computer.
Okay.
I feel like I it's either this house or the house next door. I remember visiting once with my wife, and it might have been on the market at the time. But there was a marvelous kind of built-in grandfather clock. It's not this house, is it? In the sort of the dining room.
Not this
There's
house.
no built-in clock.
Oh, okay. Well, it's pretty cool, but it might be like the house next door. Yeah.
Okay, so if Ray wants to start telling us what's historic about this and what features will be restored for the main house. And first, it would be helpful if you showed them the survey plan that shows, here we, yeah, the survey plan, and then part of your submission, there's this, that they did have it surveyed, lot 1. This, and on the survey, they show the zoning setbacks, the front yard and side yard setbacks. And if, I think you have another part of your submission, there you go. Well, there's another one that shows
This is
that one.
far
Okay, that
away.
one shows the survey, and then the one below it shows the proposed addition. And as you'll see, in dark is the original building. It is pre-existing non-conforming because a portion of it is in a tiny portion is in the front yard setback. But the additions that were added to it that will be taken, the proposed to be taken down, and the new additions to be constructed are well beyond the 40-foot setback and are themselves completely conforming to all of the dimensional requirements. So will not require a special permit from the selectmen for expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming, because under 6.1.1.C1, so long as your addition is completely compliant with all setbacks, it's by right. So the only application that needs to go before municipal boards is to your commission to discuss the historic nature of this building, what they're going to do some alterations, and to suggest that what they're proposing is not a substantial alteration because it is not going to be compromising the original historic building, significant historic building. So with that, I'll have Ray take it over and describe what they're proposing.
Fine, thank you very much. The existing house is circa 1820s, and it's a sort of standard federal, originally center hall home with 4 rooms on the first floor originally, and the house is fairly invisible in many ways from the road. Its gable end faces the road, and the main facade is facing south away from the road. The north facade is pretty much hidden by landscaping and trees, and so it's not that visible. But the Terrells, the owners, are taking the original house and bringing it back to what it really should be. And by that I mean that the things that were, the house is in good shape on the exterior, and the interior there's really nothing worth saving at all. And they're going to be bringing the interior back with 9-foot ceilings. Now those ceilings are 8 feet, and so the exterior, the corner boards are going to be widened. The windows are going to have new trim. All of the windows will be 6/6, whereas now they're not. There's going to be a new crown molding at the roof. The roof will have cedar shakes, and the shutters, which are now plastic fiberglass, really out of proportion and not really appropriate, will be replaced with appropriate shutters that will look like they really work, and not just nailed on the facade. So that's what's happening to the front entry. Also is going to be brought back more in scale. It's kind of ungainly on very narrow columns. And you can see by the proposed rendering that it's going to be brought back more in scale. The addition, the addition that exists now was built in the 70s, and it was essentially glommed on to the west facade of the main house, and that addition will be removed. And what's being shown now is a link connecting the existing house to the new addition. That link is low in scale, so it clearly separates the old from the new. And the new, while it will have windows that are in scale with the existing windows, and will have muttons, and will have a fine sort of degree of texture. The addition is really a secondary to the main house, and is much like the addition of a barn structure. In fact, the siding that's proposed is going to be vertical as opposed to the horizontal clapboard of the main
I'm
house.
seeing that like board and batten, right? Okay.
Yes, and the roof on the addition is going to be a standing seam metal. So there's a clear difference between the new and the old. That is, a desirable thing, I think, in terms of this particular house, because it really sets off the federal house much better than it is set off right now. And on the north facade, there is an addition that was built also probably in the 70s, and it is going to be slightly modified with the windows, but the windows are not going to be these large panes of glass. They're going to be, as you can see, with muttons, and more delicate. And the link between the two buildings is noted there as a change of color. And then the addition from the rear is again with windows that are more in scale with the existing windows. So that's kind of the porches are all facing west, and it's in my opinion, it's a sensitive addition.
On the rear porch, just out of curiosity, what's the gray? Like, is that I'm can't quite read my screen, but is that like a fire pit or something like that? A fireplace, or?
There's an outdoor barbecue
On the back porch there.
Yeah, that's a fireplace right there
All right, I see. Okay.
on the porch. Yeah.
Can we turn to sheet H3, please? The gable end there, is that the original to the house?
This is the original.
Right.
gable.
Right. So
the renovated.
I very much like the work here. The shutters do not work on the doubles. The idea of a shutter and the width of the shutter being, correct with the window. It's the only thing, and in the historical you've done, that to me doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
So Ray, I don't know if you guys have something else up your sleeve or you're gonna leave it that way, but the shutters.
No, I agree.
Okay.
They're not right.
So would we just remove the shutters from that whole side?
You can, it's up to you guys. You could keep them on the the two on the right, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
You could think about another window configuration. I don't know what to tell you to do. I'm not supposed to tell you that.
It's the
So,
only place where we did double up the windows, and that's because it just really worked so much better for the floor plan, the way the new rooms are laid out.
right. The one thing I probably would do, if you do ask me, I would do between the windows look like they're mold, of which you would never see in an old house.
Say that again?
The windows in the doubles, they
They're
look
mold.
like they should not be mold.
Oh,
Yeah.
Never have a mold window in an old house.
Well,
Maybe that's what, you
they're
know.
not.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. I didn't.
Yeah,
blow
it helps if you zoom in.
Okay. Yeah, the shutters just look a little strange. That's all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the shutters are definitely out of scale.
That's my only, otherwise, you know, really beautiful work on the old house.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, we'll have to discuss how we're going to deal with that.
Well, I mean,
Lot here.
I don't know. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about the proposed project here?
And I don't believe that there's anything really to add other
Yeah.
than answer your questions. I'm glad you caught the shutter piece. It is, you're absolutely right. It's not right. So we'll address that.
Well, we
Either
just
with
take them off.
take them off or yeah, we'll work
We'll
something
figure out
out.
something, I'm sure. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Pete, as our historical go-to guy, what do you have any particular information regarding this, the original old part of the house?
You know, I think Lori summed it up pretty accurately. I circulated the historical records last night, which is what she was referring to as well. You know, it's an 1820 house. And even the historic records note that it had been kind of bitched up over the years with the windows having been replaced and this new addition having been put on the back. So it strikes me that what's proposed here is very consonant with the concept of bringing the old house back to a more traditional, appropriate look and getting rid of the less desirable changes that have been made to it over the years.
But we're finding that it's a significant historic structure, but we're inclined to feel that the additions are not going to compromise the historic nature of that.
Yep, I think that's right. And so as Lori indicated, that, you know, the technical term under the bylaw is it a substantial alteration, which goes to compromising or not? And yeah, so just to put something on the table, I would make a motion that what is proposed here is not a substantial alteration of the significant historic building.
Very good. Anyone else want to follow up on Pete's motion or a little more discussion or what do you think?
I agree. I'm second the motion, and I agree with Pam about those shutters on the back, because if you're looking at that picture, none of the other windows have shutters except for that one part.
Yeah.
So
It's not
even
that,
looking
yeah.
here, all the new addition, none of the new addition has shutters, so.
We were specifically looking at the way the shutters were connected, Georgia, not that the
Oh.
old, anyway, I do
We
like.
may have to refer to you to the little known Shutter Commission.
I
Well,
shudder to
the
think.
purpose of the shutter is to
I
cover
shudder
up
the
the
thought.
window.
Yes.
And a single shutter on a double window doesn't cover up the window, so it doesn't make any sense. It's just decorative. But even then, you know,
Well, then they're the proper width, though. They're supposed to look like they actually do something.
Exactly, yeah.
you know, they would have to
They
be
do.
doubled up and folded
I
on
think
top
I
of each
had a
other.
couple on my house that were like folding screens, that they were double and they actually,
Yeah.
flipped
Yeah.
over.
Exactly.
Right.
Kind of cool.
But
That's
Because
a
I
very
must
good
admit to
idea.
layman's view, it's nicer to have something that looks like a shutter even on a double window than nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
So yeah, if they were fake folding shutters or something, anything
Right.
along those lines, strikes me it'd be fine.
All right, well, we still have we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Shall we take a vote on approving this? I will, for one, vote aye. And
Aye.
okay.
Aye.
All right. Now wait a second. Do we have our quorum here? What happened to that?
Are you still there, Jack?
Yes, I said aye.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Well, so then I think we're good. All right. Well,
Right.
how soon are you proposing to get started doing this work?
This is a fall project.
Okay, great. Well, best of luck with it, and
Thank you.
thank you for having these nice drawings. It's a beautiful old house.
Yeah, and I would certainly congratulate everybody on what you proposed to do. I mean, you're making it better, I think, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very good. I don't know. Is there any new business at this point? Because I'm not sure. If we have anything particularly hanging out there. There's the ongoing scenarios with the planning board and the bylaws and so forth, which we may or may not become embroiled in. But I have no specific information about that at all right now. I went to their interminable 3-hour meeting on Tuesday and volunteered that that the Historic Preservation Commission would be happy to support the planning board, as we always do, in terms of going forward with some of their concerns, particularly like the historic aspects of the cottage era bylaw and so forth. But I mean, I don't think there's anything to talk about at this point. So they're coming up with bylaw language, and I urge you all to keep a close eye on the agendas aspect of the town website to see, let me familiarize yourself with the language that's coming out there, and we'll see what happens.
By the way, the applicants are free to go or to stay.
Oh, yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Right.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Does anybody want to follow up Pam's suggestion, Ray, Wayborn Hill?
Yes. Do you want me to,
Can you
I'll
take a hack
follow
at that,
through.
Pam? Let us
Since I
know what it
see-
looks like.
Yeah, I'll ask Ned if I can, I'll ask him if I can see a copy of the construction drawings.
Well,
And
better you than me. Off you go.
why's that?
I'm not his favorite flavor.
You may be tomorrow, though.
Okay.
Pam,
You
you're the
know,
ultimate politician, though.
Carl, it's just that you only can talk about 3 things with Ned.
Right.
His daughter, golf, and fishing. If you're to talk about anything else, he will throw you out the office. So I can always talk about golf with anybody.
Oh, good. Well, that's valuable information. There's no question.
That is beyond valuable. Okay.
I'm not up to speed on golf and fishing, frankly. Daughter, perhaps.
Daughter, he'll talk about his daughter a lot. Yeah, you'll be good for that too. Anyway.
You can always start the conversation that way and then lead into like,
Oh. I
that's
worked
the
years
way to
on
do
this,
it.
Georgia, years.
right.
So
Well,
I
very
guess
good.
when I think he has printed drawings, he should get 3 sets when
Yeah.
he applied for a permit. So hopefully he'll be able to give me, or he'll be able to email me their
It's
set.
a
I
big
guess
project to undertake without drawings. That's for sure.
No.
Well,
They may have applied just for demolition first?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm on top of it.
Okay,
I
great.
just want to make sure because I've seen too many projects we've accepted not be what we accepted.
Right.
Well, and I would add a little bit of color too. I've mentioned this to Carl, but not everybody else. A cousin of mine who's a real, I don't know what the right word is, kind of like an emissary for historic preservation, connected me with the National Trust.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
And they are interested in learning more about our bylaw and having me draft a kind of a short piece about the bylaw that they would, the first place they would present it is at some kind of like a workshopy thing they do once a year for people that are involved in historic preservation and zoning and all that kind of thing. And I was kind of thinking I might, feature Wayborn Hill as a possible example of a success story, but we would want to be sure that it really is.
That it is a success story.
Before we did that.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I'll keep everybody posted on
I
that.
think it's a great idea. I can remember way back when I began with the town and and I was secretary to the planning board. Way back then, they would designate a member of the planning board every time there was a special permit to kind of oversee the process to make sure it was how they actually voted on.
Wow.
And then that kind of went out the window. But I think it would be a great idea because like Pam said, so many times things change and we don't know what's happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely have, a very loose arrangement in terms of any kind of monitoring or enforcement. And I think that's something that is worth investigating a little bit because, if people don't do what they say they're going to do, then what are we there for? So.
Well, it's been interesting. I think, Jay, you're on conservation, but they've been going crazy lately because the projects don't move along the way they were described to the Conservation Commission. And then the question becomes, do you force the client to hire someone? Do they have to hire the engineer that did the drawings to make sure that they comply with what's on paper?
Yeah.
So we're in a kind of a similar boat in some ways, but I guess I thought the building inspector was the policeman for that, but I think we may have to jump in on that. Maybe Ned didn't get anything in writing that says, please, he has an exception, that it was accepted by us, but it doesn't have anything more than that.
Yeah.
Well, when I send him a memo, I copy Carl and I don't copy everybody else. And I attached to it the elevations and plans that we saw and that we approved. And I said, so the memo says, we approve alterations consistent with these plans and elevations. So theoretically, Ned should be on top of that, but whether he is or not, of course, is potentially another question.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I forgot how much he loves historical work.
Yes.
Oh, Carl, maybe you should go. George.
I'm not.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'll take care of it.
All right. All right. Well, anyway,
Thank you.
so motion to adjourn. Anyone?
And you'll let us know, Pam?
Yes, I will.
All righty. Thank you.
Take care. All right.
Great.
I move we adjourn.
All in favor?
Bye.
Bye.
Aye.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
nice afternoon.
Thanks, everybody.